Coming up, the Iowa City Police Log Twitter account is becoming a book. And later, with no Hawkeye sports on the horizon, we take a dive into Hawkeye esports. Welcome to DITV Now, your 2-minute flash update on the biggest stories coming out of the newsroom of the Daily Iowan. I'm your host, Shivancha Huja. Some of the most riveting news from around Iowa City has been brought to us by the Iowa City Police Log Twitter account. For 5 years, IC_activity log has been tweeting bits from the Iowa City Police Department's online activity log, but it isn't affiliated with the department. The account has racked up over 12,000 followers and has over 24,000 tweets. Creator of the account, Chris Patton, spends hours each day sifting through content that varies from serious to humorous. Patton has been compiling all the outrageous and significant tweets from the Twitter account to create a book about Iowa City's history. The book is currently on pre-sale with Little Village magazine. A release date is not set, but Patton plans on donating the profits to the neighborhood centers of Johnson County, Shelter House, and United Action for Youth. Now over to Zach for an update on sports, or esports rather.
Riot Games' new hit title, Valorant, has taken the esports scene by storm. The free-to-play tactical shooter game has begun to take off competitively all around the world, with esport organizations sponsoring pro teams. The game is popular on streaming platforms like Twitch, where 1.73 million peak viewers watched the game on its early access launch in April. It didn't take long for interest in Valorant to drum up among Iowa students, as Dylan Montany set out to develop a Valorant division of the Esports at Iowa club.
But our Discord back in April didn't even exist, right? And now, what is it? 4 months later, we already have 100 members.
Montany is looking to build the Iowa Valorant community from the most casual of fans to the most competitive of players.
I believe that if you can build and sustain kind of like the bottom line, your casual community, people who just like to play for fun, that sustains, that creates an environment where you encourage people to play.
After a community began to form in late summer, tryouts began for a competitive team. The team has only been together for a few weeks, but team captain Tanner Welsh has a good feeling about his team.
We just started our first practices like in the past week or so, and so I know there may not be like a whole bunch of like team chemistry just right off the bat, but already just from like the small amount of practices we've had, we've already been improving just a whole bunch.
While the team represents the university, they are not affiliated with Iowa Athletics. The team is in the process of entering tournaments for this fall semester. We'll keep you updated on the results in the future. But for now, we send it to Olivia for a story on climate change.
Thank you, Zach. Last week, I had the privilege of working with the Center for Strategic and International Studies with their project on food and water insecurity and how climate change and the pandemic both relate to them. The COVID-19 pandemic has skyrocketed demand for food, but the continuous issue of climate change has severely impacted the world's ability to obtain food as a whole. Stagnant farm operations, furloughed farmers, and drought, all of these problems are leaving more than 2 billion people in the world without access to healthy and sustainable food or water during a global pandemic. Founder and CEO of the Ecological Futures Group, Rod Schonover, argued to us that the loss of life right now is 40 times that of 9/11 due to the pandemic and food and water insecurity. When it comes to water insecurity in developing countries alone, 90% of sewage is discharged and untreated, and yet is still used by communities. In 2016, 829,000 people were killed by contaminated water in developing countries. There's a lot that common people, local governments, and even aid organizations can be doing in order to help the issue. But as soon as we all acknowledge the problem together, change can already be made. For more information on our research, you can go to www.csis.org.
Thanks for tuning in to DITV Now. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest on the University of Iowa, Iowa City, and Hawkeye Nation worldwide. I'm Shivancha Huja. Have a great day, Iowa City.